What's going on, everybody? You're listening to Midday Cafe. This is your girl, Miss Kai, and I'm here with my co-host,
Mike Hamilton for today, WHBC830am, Channel 51.
Right, and as promised, our special guest is here. She's in the building. Miss Faith Evans is here with us, everybody.
Hey,
How are you doing today?
I am good. I'm good. I'm happy to be in DC.
We're glad to have you. I know that your album just dropped Tuesday. How do you feel about your new work out on the market?
I'm really excited, man, and so far so good. It's been a very good reception. It's sold out at a lot of places, thank God. So I mean, just having been gone from the scene with music in so long, for so long rather, it's just a blessing to still be, appreciated, for people to still like my music and know that I have, fans out there. And this is certainly one of the places that, no matter what, like, I could sing them same old songs over and over every time I come here. Like, it's so much love here. And shout out to Chucky Thompson, too, because he's mad because he didn't know I was in town. But I got to work with Chucky again on this album, which was my plan, because we kind of got such a history with him being a part of my first album and stuff, and that's coming into that bad boy family around the same time. So shout out to DC's own Chucky Thompson.
Okay, shout out to him. As an artist, person, and a mother, how have you grown, and how has that been represented in your music?
As an artist, person, and mother, well, I've grown, period, just, because of and despite all the many things I've experienced in my life and career. I mean, the good and the bad. I'm just at a point where I've tried to take all of those things and use it as wisdom, and try and help other people when I can, in terms of pointing them in the right direction when it comes to the business side of it. I mean, I acquired my own imprint, so I did an independent deal on my own imprint, and I own my masters, and that's a great thing to be able to say as an artist. So I mean, that in itself, knowing that I could do that, I mean, knowing that was a good move for me, because I know I have a fan base, however large or small it is. I know that my faithfuls out there are gonna always ride for me.
That's right. So your new album is entitled Something About Faith. What is your favorite track or memory when making this album?
Wow. It's hard to pick a favorite song, because I like a whole lot of them. Memories, definitely being in the studio with Snoop and being in the studio with Raekwon, because, I mean, we were in the studio like till about 4 or 5 in the morning just chilling, like, I mean, ain't like they was acting like, oh, I gotta go, they were like, you know what, I knew you was the dog, but, we was just kicking it, like, and out of that just came them being on the records. I mean, Raekwon ended up at the studio for a whole different reason and just stayed and did the song Everyday Struggle.
I heard it, yeah.
I absolutely love that song.
How was it sampling from the original Everyday Struggle? How was that working with that?
Actually, I didn't sample. Haha, I'm a CEO. Smart girl.
Okay.
What I did was, the guy who wrote the original record, Harvey Mason Sr., he wrote the record that they sampled for Big's Everyday Struggle. Okay. But if I would have sampled Big's Everyday Struggle, then there's whoever wrote the original guy, whoever produced that. I mean, that's too much. I don't feel like all that. And so I just got in contact with the guy who wrote the original record, because I know his son, Harvey Mason Jr.
Directly to the source.
And, we worked it out. And I had my band going, me and my co-production partner. We had my band come in and told them what we wanted them to do. And I knew exactly how I wanted it looped, and I just wrote the song on top of that.
That's what's...
Your work left a major mark on 90s R&B and hip-hop soul. What would you say was your greatest musical accomplishment during that time period?
Wow. My greatest musical accomplishment during that period was, being able to make it out of the bricks, and right. For people to know me as a singer, writer, to having come from church and singing all over the place in Jersey at the airport family day, I mean, that to me was the ultimate. Just to even, the first time I heard, like you were just talking about, You Used to Love Me, the first time I heard it, and I'm in Brooklyn driving down the street and Funkmaster Flex dropping bombs, I was like, oh, I started crying and pulled up, like, thank you, Jesus. Thank you, God. Like, because I don't just take for granted that, I used to be like, you think people going to like it? You think, but just to see that it was well received, first of all, initially, and then just to constantly grow and realize that, wow, I have fans in all these different places. I still go someplace for the first time, like I didn't even know, y'all knew me here, like so.
Right.
But it's a wonderful feeling. It's a wonderful feeling.
You collaborated with some of the biggest names in music history: Whitney Houston, Diddy, Missy Elliott. Who haven't you worked with yet that you would like to work with?
Lauryn Hill would be probably one of the first people, because we were supposed to actually do something for this album, but then my timing I had to turn it in. She was in out of the country.
Right.
So hopefully I'm gonna keep my fingers crossed that we get this remix done that she told me she wants to do for my record.
That would be very exciting to hear you and Lauryn Hill on record.
Mm-hmm.
I know a lot of people will be excited for that. As a
I
veteran,
do that. Bring me in and try and be hurrying up. Like, hello.
as a veteran in the game, who are some new artists that you think are taking music to another level right now?
You know what? And I'll say, I'm just gonna say right what's on on my mind right now, because I was just talking about this person. But I try not to say it, because then I'll forget and be like, oh, such and such, I like her too. So I don't like to slight people, because I do have a huge amount of respect for a lot of different artists. And as an artist, I respect everybody's interpretation. It's really up to the audience to decide, like, what they like and not. But Jasmine Sullivan, she would definitely be one.
Yes,
But
definitely.
it's like, it's hard for me to consider her new, because I remember taking her in the studio when she was like 13 or something when I first met her.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I don't have no label or nothing, but you dope. Like, come singing on this song. I don't even know if the song it didn't end up on my album back then, but I'm just so proud to see that somebody finally knew what to do. Like, no,
Right.
because they be scared of that type of talent sometimes.
Right.
I think that was probably the case when she was younger, But I love Keisha Cole. She's not really a new artist either. But there are plenty of artists out there that I admire and that I respect and, love to see them grow and come up, and hopefully that I have in some kind of way, it's just been some kind of inspiration to them, especially as the women, the women in the business.
Right.
So we're about to wrap it up here. I want to thank you so much for your time, Miss
Aw.
Evans. But we're about to close out and play Everyday Struggle from your new album. If you haven't gotten it, go to the stores now and cop the CD.
Something
It
About
is
Faith.
quality, something about faith. Go get it
iTunes.
right now. The exclusive interview with Miss Faith Evans on WHBC830am.com.